running full speed, but the markets are faster. Quasar Markets Live brings the world's top financial minds to you. Everything you need to know in one place. Learn from elite educators and gain a competitive edge, leveling the playing field for you. Join the conversation. Quasar Markets Live.
Good morning, traders. Welcome to Quasar Markets Live. I am joined, like always, with my main man, BigBeat. How are we doing today, Steve?
I'm good, man. Look, still the question mark has still been what we've been talking about for, I don't know, can't tell you now, 3-4 years now. The Fed's been talking about it since the creation of the Federal Reserve. It's jobs, jobs, jobs.
Yeah, absolutely. As we look at the markets to start off with here, QQQ has been moving down, SPY moving down, and Dow futures slipping since we did have the job data come out here this morning. And as Steve said, another miss.
Yep.
We've got ADP private payrolls came in at just 54,000 for August. That's way below the 75K estimate and down from July's 104K. If we break it down even further, trade, transport, and utilities lost 17,000 jobs, education and health, 12,000. And again, the engine of hiring is not where you want to see it, leisure and hospitality. It means overeducated people working in restaurants. We did see wage growth steady a little bit. Job stayers are up 4.4% year over year, and job changers are getting a little bump at 7.1. Following yesterday's jolts, which showed job openings at one of the lowest levels since 2020, Steve, is this, Fed cut fuel, or should we worry that hiring is rolling over too quickly?
I'm going to make a post here in a few minutes on a new thing that's going on right now, and I think people need to understand what this is. It's called job hugging. And I've said this for almost since January, that there will be at some point this year, and it happened, as we know, this week, where jobs are not going to be plentiful, that we're going to have to see a place where and the Fed said this, right? Like, oh, well, wage growth is growing and there's plenty of jobs out there, and this is why we need to not cut the rates, we need to raise rates. And all of a sudden now there are more jobs than people. Now it's flipped. There's more people than jobs. And so now people are scared, and we're calling it job hugging now. And that's the new term I think everybody's going to start using now. And that's a problem. Because now, if you're job hugging, then AI is removing those jobs from new starter positions. That's a double whammy. That's stagflation within the job market, and that was the one thing the Fed continued to say that they needed to see in order to cut. So now the path
Governor Waller, told CNBC that he sees rate cuts starting this month, and he's a contender to succeed Powell. Meanwhile, Trump's Fed nominee, Stephen Barron, faces a Senate hearing today. So it could be, some decision-making coming very soon, right?
If he passes the Senate, there is a very good chance he may not pass the Senate. You're already seeing a lot of senators on the Republican side already start to see the cracks. They realize that they're losing big time, and they're probably going to lose the Senate if they continue. You saw where Tom Tillis has already started. Lisa Murkowski has started. You've also seen where there's a lot of senators here that are saying, I'm not going to just pass people because they're on my side of the aisle. And that's a problem because it's tight in the Senate, right? And he might not get appointed.
That'd be a big blow for sure. If we stick across policies and what's going on, we do have, also President Trump formally asked the Supreme Court to take up his tariff case. So he is, still sticking with it here. And then we have seen Bank of America come out and they said that he'll find another way to do it. Lower courts ruled most levies illegal. He argues delaying a ruling until 2026 could create chaos if they have to unwind $750 billion to $1 trillion in tariffs. Treasury Secretary Bessent has backed him, warning the ruling gravely undermines the president's ability to conduct diplomacy and protect the economy. And the Bank of America says even SCOTUS strikes down tariffs, they expect the White House to use other authorities like Section 122 of the 1974 Trade Act to keep them in place. Steve, is this just legal theater, or does tariff uncertainty keep a lid on our risk assets throughout the rest of the fall?
It's a very good question. I mean, we needed to see clarity on tariffs, and the last thing we've seen now is clarity on tariffs. Now with the courts, and I mean, I did just said it. You know, like there's a good chance that, well, I mean, he packed SCOTUS. So, sorry, SCOTUS, the Supreme Court of the United States. I don't know. It's a very good question, and Washington is really clipped right now. You're seeing where Muriel Bowser, the mayor of DC, is now bending her knee now to the president because of things going on. You're seeing whims change a little bit in DC. So
yeah, at that point though, I actually give Bowser credit. I'm not a big fan of hers as a resident in the district for a long time, but she's really actually said, "Hey, the numbers are showing, right? They saved 20 murders less than what you normally would have seen. So what they're doing is making it work. And a lot of our friends that are on the police force have echoed that having extra officers, you know, that
there's nothing wrong with that. So what I'm saying is that maybe POTUS does get his tariffs out of SCOTUS.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, Steve, looking at the market, the tick is fairly flat here after jobs data came out, and what looked like to be maybe a green day has gone more neutral here. Dow Jones down slightly, the SPY up about 7 basis points, Q up about 8 basis points now, but all of those are off of highs of the morning. As we look at the corporate earnings and corporate movers, Salesforce CRM, nice Q2 beat. Their EPS came in at 291 versus 278. Revenue came in at 10.24, but they did have a little bit of a light guidance there, and the stock is down about 7% on that news. You buying the dip in CRM here today, Steve?
CRM, no, I'm really not, because CRM could hurt when it comes to AI, and AI is really doing its thing.
Okay. On the other side of that, we have AEO, which is, of course, American Eagle Outfitters, up tremendously this morning, about 27% here, Steve, on the backs of Travis Kelce and Sydney Sweeney, although I don't think anyone cares about their backs. You know, what do you think here? They smashed expectations, EPS over, 45 cents. They were looking at 21 cents. Revenue came in at 1.28 billion. And the company is definitely saying it's from the ad campaign and the partnership with Travis Kelce.
Is he going to sing a song with
Wouldn't surprise me. I mean, listen, hey, it is news, and it's moving the needle. I mean, you can't argue with up 27%, and the numbers back it up what they did.
Yeah, you can't. It just makes me wonder. Is this what we're going to do now? Are these stunts going to help? Are we going to see more Sydney Sweeney stunts to get the stock prices up? Is that what we have to do to make sales now? If that's the case, we're in trouble, right?
Yeah, it may be though. Steve, I hate to tell you, since you run an AI company, but AI is dead.
Yeah. So I have made a post this morning about AI, as everybody, you can read it today. I remember watching NBC News morning show, Today Show, and I remember when email first came out, and Katie Couric was an anchor at the time, and she came out and said, email. I have mail. I have U.S. mail. I can send my friend a letter in the mail, in the U.S. mail. Why would I ever send something over the internet? What is the internet? What is this ampersand? An and with an at or a over circle? It was today we make fun of that. Steve Ballmer, we make fun of him from Microsoft. We make fun of Bill Gates saying that no one will ever need more than 780 megabytes of data space on their computer. We saw Mr. Jamie Dimon saying that Bitcoin will never be sold at JP Morgan. You saw where people call electricity the devil, right? It's the devil. TV was the devil's playground. Electricity was the devil. I mean, it's constantly being, when we have new technologies, emerging technologies like AI, it's going to stumble. I wrote that. It's going to stumble. It's going to make mistakes. It's going to have problems. But that doesn't mean that we're not going to use it like you couldn't even believe in the future. We can't even imagine how to use the internet when we started that, right? And today, it's already started again. AI is dead. Long live AI. It's just stupid.
So you buy the dip on C3.ai today, down, like I said, at 1457. Its highs of the year are 4508.
So C3 is a little different situation. I do like C3. I do like AI. I don't like the fact that we're changing CEOs. And he's still going to be the executive chairman. I like that, at least. I understand he has health issues, and I saw him back in January. No, I bought another stock today or yesterday. And I made a post about that in StockTwits. I like StockTwits, by the way. I bought CoreWeave, CRWV. I like this sell-off in AI. They make a data center. So, if you're going to look at the pickaxes, you're going to look at the machines. I do like AI. Now, you talk about Figma here. Here's my problem with Figma. This company comes out with an IPO on the big board and can't even beat on its first earnings. That's wrong, right? That means that the markets are out of whack, right? You are a company in earnings season right after you just IPO, and you can't even beat on very low earnings. The bar was set so low. That's a problem. That's a real problem. And that does say that there are some cracks here in AI. Now, I get all that. Okay. But no. I mean, if that was the case, Amazon, little company called Amazon was not going to displace books. There's no way. They're not gonna go after. Why would I ever want to put a book on a machine? And I don't ever do that. I'll always read my book. Why the heck would I have a laptop? What's a laptop? These are stupid things, right? Today to us, but to them back then, that was not. Electricity was witchcraft, right? So I look at this next level of ingenuity, and I got to go, okay, what is it? And I don't think it's AI as we know it today, right? Yeah, it's making poems and songs, and it's creating pictures and writing things for us to make it faster for us. But that's not what AI is going to do in the future. And I think people need to understand that. And yeah, but I bought CoreWeave.
I have CoreWeave up there, Steve. So you're not concerned about maybe their deal with CleanSpark falling apart here? Because that was a big reason that they had jumped up over the last several months, was on the buying of that cheap energy contracts that CleanSpark owns, the Bitcoin mining company that's having trouble. And
I can't see your chart on the screen, but I'll tell you, no problem. But what I can tell you is, if you look at a daily chart on CoreWeave and you pull up linear regression on it on a day chart, yeah, you can see what I see too, right? The selling has slowed down. People are starting to suck it in now a little bit. Look at the very top. Was it's like a $200 stock that you're buying at 89.30 right here, right? That's what I like, right? I waited on this one. I think what's one thing you and I talk about, right? Get down to my numbers. I said if it gets below 90, it looks interesting to me. Well, here we are. It's under 90. I like this, right? I like what's going on here. So for me, okay. And here we are.
Okay, there you go. I wouldn't be a buyer. I'm with you on the linear regression, but it shows it going down to about 70 here before the bounce probably comes.
Could be. But I made a starter position. It's not a full boat position, as you know.
Yep. I mean, I'm a fan of the company, but they do have money problems right now. Hopefully they'll dig their way out of them. They always seem to. So that could be a good rebound on that position there. I like that. Figma, like we talked about, definitely getting hit here. I think that's more, but that, to Figma, I point more that this is, like you said, market mispricing. This was a mistake by your investors, not really anything that otherwise than that. They just mispriced it. It's not, it wasn't a $60 billion company. It's a $30 billion company.
You mean it's not a $4 trillion company yet? I'm surprised.
Yeah. Tick, like we said, fairly neutral here. About 10 minutes from the open. Advanced decline is right now positive 600, which doesn't really mean much because it could go either way. We do see the Dixie bouncing back a little bit this morning here, back above 98.30. It had been down overnight also. Steve, what do you think we see at the open here? Do you think we see some profit taken, or do we, or further sell off, or are we going to get a little bit of a push to the upside today?
I mean, I've been calling for the sell-off for a while. I mean, I've been preparing for it, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, what do we have next here? Looking around globally here, we can see the Shanghai index. China stocks are down about 1.25% overall here as speculation starts to curb there. One thing that I tend to warn about is anytime you see those things pop up, there tends to be no real follow through to them. And we see them dropping back down here. DXY also, as again, 98.30. And gold's dropped back below 3,600, down about 1% from its record highs. Oil is still dropping. Brent's still dropping. Steve, is this sort of gold just taking some profit taking, or is there a crack in the armor here?
No, I mean, I think we push right on up. There's just nothing stopping this machine. I mean, silver hit 41.50 yesterday. We're right a little under 41 a day. There was a little bit of profit taking, and as there should be. But no, look, people are not happy right now, and you're seeing it. It's full blown right in front of your face. I mean, if this is what I'm saying. No, I don't think so. I think we keep on going. This is terrible. The market is not as good as everybody thinks it is.
Right. Staying a little bit on the energy, did you see EQT signed a 20-year offtake with next decade's Rio Grande to take some LNG there, a $6.7 billion project?
It's interesting that's 20 years because that, believe it or not, makes it political. What? Well, the 20-year is not a normal number for a deal like that, right? And so what they probably did was took out a 20-year bond against it, and there it is, right? Energy, 20 years. That's a Republican, interestingly enough, a conservative bond. So what does that mean? Well, that means that that's the most unpopular bond, and we normally go by 5, 10s, 15s, and 30s. The 20-year is not a normal bond, so there you go. They're probably buying against it. So I thought the 20-year was very interesting to me, and I may be wrong. Fine, but it's that one just kind of stuck out of my head, like going, what? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And usually when things don't make sense, it's because there's something wrong. So there he is. Oh, Giorgio Armani died, huh?
Who?
Giorgio Armani.
Oh, what's that? Steve's Credo up about 10.56 after their earnings report. What do you think of their move up today?
I think what you're seeing is markets looking for alpha and in places that pretty much shouldn't be finding alpha, and they're finding those places. I think that's what it's about. I don't think it's any more than that, to be honest with you.
So I'm taking it you wouldn't trust the bump up here then?
No, but it's AI, right? And it's the picks and axes, right? Again, it's data centers and how do you connect things and electricity. So I get all that. So, but AI is dead, right? AI is dead. AI is dead. I keep hearing that, Yet these companies like Apple goes out and is making their own new search bar for Safari. They need to make a deal with Gemini. They need to make a deal with Perplexity. They need to do something because Apple's in trouble, right? But all the companies that are around those companies, like Credo and CoreWeave, are still going. So they're not stupid. They know what's up.
And revenue is up 274% year over year. They had an EPS beat 52 cents versus 36 cents estimate. And then Steve mentioned market leader in AI connectivity when it comes to what they do. Steve, you playing earnings tonight? AVGO on deck tonight, the biggest company on earnings on deck here, trading at about 304.90, up about 2% leading into earnings here over the last couple of days.
Repeat that one more time.
AVGO has earnings after the bell tonight and up about 2% leading into it. Are you playing it tonight? What do you think's going to happen?
I'm not. Broadcom is an interesting company right now. I really want to see how sales of phones are doing right now. And you know what? I'm really interested in Apple's their big reveal, right? I think that's going to really say what's going to happen, and behind that. So I really want to see that first before the chip makers, before the phone chip makers. I want to see that first.
Okay. Advanced decline is moving slightly to the upside right now. Q's at about up 6 basis points. We're 5 minutes from the open here. VIX has retraced back down to about 1622 here. As I mentioned, gold at 35.50, silver just under 41. If we look at the sectors, it's a mixed bag today. You have technology sector right now down about not too bad, about 30 basis points. We see the big one on the upside, consumer discretionary on the upside, and energy or utilities, to the upside, the two big to the upside. Overseas, the Nikkei had a strong day, up almost a full percentage point here. So Asian markets were strong. European markets, not so much. Stocks up about a 0.5 point so far today. It has bounced up earlier from earlier lows.
I'm buying a little bit more CoreWeave here in the early market here. I do like this move here. That's bounced off that bottom now twice. So I have picked up more CoreWeave here.
Mag 7, Amazon, you mentioned earlier, up about 2.34%. Didn't really see much on it except that they're changing.
We're hearing reports now that green cards have been halted by the State Department here. All green cards, employment-based second preference visas for the fiscal year 2025 have been issued, temporarily pausing green cards processing in the category.
Oh wow.
That will hurt companies like Apple, companies that Microsoft that are big, that need those green cards in order to
Yeah, no, absolutely. Steve, Tesla up about at 1 point here. It had made a nice little move to the upside. You surprised Elon is not invited to tonight? Well, I have two questions. What companies are we going to announce we've taken over after tonight's presidential summit here with a lot of the top CEOs?
The friendship of Elon Musk and Donald Trump seem to be on the rocks continually. It's like the brother from another mother that pissed off mommy and daddy are fighting, and so the brother and the sister are getting separated, and they're going to live in different homes, but they're going to live in mansions and blah 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 blah. Who cares? Well, let's ask that question, right? Electric vehicles are not the president's favorite thing. He's cutting windmills off the coasts. Electric vehicles he doesn't really like. He doesn't like the trains. He hates trains. I'm not really sure what else he hates in the solar panel. I think he hates solar too as well. I think it's what Elon Musk does, right? I mean, and he has Truth Social, and Elon has Twitter, X, whatever. Those two need to get along. Those two need to get along, and they need to be back together, but they're not. And because of that, the country's going to suffer. Electric vehicles are going to suffer. Tesla. Now, people are going to say, okay, well, what about robo-taxis? I've heard the word robo-taxis 100,000 times. And I've just complained about people saying that AI is dead. Robo-taxis are not dead. You will be taking a robo-taxi in the future. I promise you that. So what's the key here? The key here is that they have to play nice. They got to get some bills through. And we've just talked about it, that the Senate is in trouble. So the Senate knows it has to go back to its base to get reelected, and so they're not going to be any bills about electric vehicles coming through. So all of a sudden, Elon Musk is in trouble on 4 ways to Sunday. So I'm not liking Tesla right here. I think Tesla might have made the high of the year here.
Wow. Okay. Wow. There you go. Tesla
And
might have made
that out for it, right? It's not just I'm not just making it up saying I don't like Elon because I don't care. I don't care, right? I care about the politics. I need to understand how this is going to affect money, right? And how I'm going to trade it. And I don't like Tesla up here, to be honest with you. I think it's too much. I think it's hype. But I do like the robo taxis. I love what he's doing there, but I don't know that it's going to get done. We're out open, and as you know, I have just bought more core weave on that dip here, so I do like that. Let's see what I've executed at 88.53 here, so I think we're good. I'm in around 88.40ish, somewhere around there. I'll probably buy a little bit more down here too as well. Okay. I'm liking this bounce down here.
On core weave up here, nice little bounce, like you said, from the lows of the day. We do see Qs at up about 4 basis points here. SPY up 9 basis points. Dow Jones opened up down about
a little bit more here too as well now. So I'm in at right around 88.25, something like that.
We do see the Dow slipping to the downside. Tick is negative slightly, not a tremendous amount, down about 160. Advanced decline does open up about 1,000. We'll see how that rolls. As we said, Mag 7, NVIDIA just turned positive on the day. Amazon, big winner so far, up 2.18%. Meta up 2% here so far. Google down about 68 basis points. But that's after the big surge up last week.
And I bought a little bit more here, CoreWeave. So, yeah, this is where I think I'm right around 88.30 now in here. So, I think this bounces a bit, bouncing around a little bit here, and then we'll see what we can see here in the next. Pull up the Qs are pushing up here a little bit. Tick is starting to push a little bit to the upside. Qs are moving.
Amazon now up almost 3%. Credo up 10.2. So after some initial profit taking here on the cash open, moving back to the upside slightly. Steve, we didn't talk about it. T. Rowe Price. Did you see the big news there?
I didn't. No.
Goldman Sachs is taking a big position.
Makes sense.
Going to use their cash balance sheet to do so, and they are going to partner on a lot of co-branded products. There, as Goldman Sachs sees an opportunity, right? T. Rowe Price really big in the world of 401ks, and being able to add private equity to those funds is a big thing that just passed, right?
Yep. Howard, as you can see, we're getting CoreWeave back to $89 a share here. little bit.
Yeah, 88.93.
These are really pushing here now.
$89 even.
89.08 up there. 89.10.
Trying to move back up.
89.20. I took that money and ran, my man. Wow. I was whew.
Tick down about 125 here. SPY up about 13 basis points. As you said, Q's starting to see a little bit of love here. Now up 30 basis points this morning.
All right. That was a nice little move there, huh?
Yeah. Steve, I'm trying to figure out, does your chart on QQQ show this big run up some at 4 a.m. this morning to 600? Shows it for me on a minute chart too. I've been trying to figure it out.
I don't see it on mine.
Yeah, I don't know
Or
what's
we
going
still
on.
pushing a little bit here.
DXY moving up a little bit here this morning, up about 11 basis points at 98.25. Got to hold above that
89.30 now on CoreWeave. Whew. Missed it, but okay.
Firm up 2.3. Amazon really taking off, up 3.89% now.
89.40.
The only news I had really seen.
Qs are taking off now. 89.50 on CoreWeave.
Oh, this could be the news. So Amazon has signed up their JetBlue is their first airline customer to use their new satellite internet service. So I'm assuming that's what's got it going. We know Starlink has more than 8,000 satellites in low Earth orbit doing this. They have about 3,200 Amazon and what they're building out. So Amazon getting into the satellite business.
That makes sense. Because
Yeah.
they've already got the rockets, right?
Yeah, you already combined the business. Absolutely.
Hey, for those of you out there, like hit that like button, subscribe, make sure you're retweeting this on the Twitter Spaces and stuff. Love that. Let's get these numbers up this morning.
Oracle down about a percentage point here, getting hit a little bit. Steve, Palantir at 155. I saw that Druckenmiller has sold his position in Palantir. I've been out for a little bit here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a position in Palantir. I am, but I right now I just haven't. It's a little tough on Palantir right now.
Yeah, it seems to be consolidating though in this 155 area pretty well. So I might start to dip my toes in for again putting it. I bought it for my long-term position and then sold it when it popped off, and then pulled back a little bit here. Nvidia's gone slightly positive here. They're at 171 today. Amazon's the one that's taken off, continuing to move to the upside here, now up 3.7% here.
89.60 now on CoreWeave.
Meta up 2.52% also. So Mag 7 in general, outside of Google and Apple.
Gold is pushing 35.57 again. Silver was getting stuck there at the 41 handle there.
Q's now up 20 basis points.
Yeah.
WTI back down at 63 here, Steve.
Yeah, it is trying a little bit. Got down to 62.270 this morning on the NYMEX futures there, 63.30 now, so about 50 cents to the upside. Tick still up to 102 here, still fairly flat.
Looks like some traders are expecting good things out of AVGO tonight, up about 1.4%, although we are seeing some profit taking here. Had gone up to 308. So they're trying to touch close to their all-time high here going into, or 52-week high, I should say, because I don't know what they did in the past. Yeah, no, that's all-time high. Credo holding up, still up 11% here on the day. Same thing, T-Row up at 9.29%. So they seem to be holding their gains so far. Hewlett Packard was up pretty big in the pre-market, has pulled back most of those gains here, now only up 30 basis points. Had been as high as 23.96 earlier, now at 22.89, so pretty big pullback there. Amazon unable to break to 235 here, but had a nice little run.
Look at that tick dropping now, 80, 88, 90 now back on. Oh, look at the Qs just getting spanked right up there, dropping almost 3 points there.
Yeah, definitely some whip-wash back and forth action here this morning so far. No clear direction.
Correct. Pretty quiet morning here, considering.
It is. It is.
Yeah, a little bit more selling than in the Qs here. Gold dropping, silver dropping. I took a little profit on Bitcoin yesterday when it hit 112.5. You talked about that area.
Yep, absolutely.
So I listened to you and took my profit up there, and here we are bouncing again. So I think we might possibly be seeing another run of the upside here in the bottom of that linear regression on the 1 hour chart there. Yeah, Q's still slipping just a wee bit here. AI popping a little bit here now, 1564, only down about 6% now, as it was down around 1480 there. So there is some buyers here stepping in here.
Yep.
Yeah, Q's now near the lows of the day here. And silver just dropped. Look at that drop in silver. That was an interesting, just said it. I was like, look at that. Yeah. 1572 now on
So I'm pulling back here now a little bit too. Advanced tick just definitely picking up tremendously here. So buyers are stepping in here after the first 15 minutes. Again, the rut leading the way, up 35 basis points. So they're buying the small caps again.
Yeah. VIX at 1605 now again. Anything under that 15 handle. Excuse me. Keep my eye there on the VIX here.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's core weave now 88.85 now, so it's getting back down there again. Let it get back down there. I may do that again. I like those moves. Tick now up 165 here, ticked up 132 here. So it's there's a little bit of a on balance issue here. I am still negative this market. I still think that there's going to be one of those things where you go, whoa, what happened there today? And there'll be some news piece, and the markets are ready to go. They're ready to fall apart, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you can't argue it. You're seeing it. I saw Steve Leishman said that the beige book pointed to the big R word this morning. First, he said to read the first 2 pages of the beige book, and that it is definitely leading folks using the R word. Yep.
We've been saying that for a while.
Yeah. Michael Litt, others, Peter Thomas have all been pointing Steve Flanagan to this fact, that November, watch out for what is coming above, beyond, the immediate future here.
Yeah, I mean, Dan,
everything else has to show it,
Yeah, I mean, I spoke to Dan Niles, as up in New York and on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange, and he said the same thing. Thanksgiving is going to be tough, right? I mean, we talked about that here on the show here as well, and he's right. So, I mean, prepare your portfolio is part of you. It's who you are in your future, and make sure you're protecting it.
Yep, absolutely.
Silver is still dropping here, 40.70 now an ounce. Gold dropping too as well. Core weave is hugging that 90 handle like it's 89 handle like it's no tomorrow on that sucker.
Bitcoin could be in trouble here. Could be headed back to 107. Right below 110 here, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
We'll hit liquidations. Can't break key resistance. Couldn't break the key resistance at 112.5 all day yesterday. Looked like we were eating away at it, but overall, bear's still in control.
S&P Global Services PMI coming in at 54.5 versus the 55.3. Yeah, that's a PMI coming in a little lighter there. And that should push the markets up because I believe now they all think that we're going to get that rate cut. I mean, it's got to be at 100% at this point.
Yeah, and to answer that question, let me pull up FedWatch here.
And, of course, ISM non-manufacturing numbers coming out at 10 a.m., so
97.4%, Steve.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. So a little pump there on the stocks, as we know that there's definitely going to be a cut. Jobs are showing that. PMI is not showing that. ISM probably going to show it here a little bit. All these things are showing.
Yeah, we've got about 2.5 cuts measured in right now. And what I mean there is you can see 97% saying we're going up. Not sharing it. I forgot that my screen is not set to that.
Silver still slipping here, 40.67 now. Dollar dropping a little bit, 98.24 here. Tick now down 60 here. So that pop
got sold. Every pop's getting sold off.
Yeah, that's correct.
And now I have it up here. So in September, now a 97% chance that we get a 0.25% cut. And then there's a 54% that we see another quarter cut in this October being priced in. And then another 44% of a third cut now being priced in. So we are seeing about 2.5, almost 3 now being priced in.
What's December showing?
That's December right here.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
44% at the 350, 375, 46% at the 375, 400. So 90 again. Yeah, 2 cuts are by the end of the year at 96.5% or so.
Oh, we're seeing the Justice Department has issued subpoenas as part of a probe into Fed Governor Lisa Cook, according to the Wall Street Journal here.
I saw Pulte on CNBC again this morning. Calm it down. I mean, let her have her day in court. That's where we're at. That's where it should be. I don't make fun of mortgage fraud. I don't think mortgage fraud is something that we, should be done, especially by central bankers. And if she did, then she should face the penalties that come with it. But at this point, the rhetoric, you heard it this morning, was just ridiculous.
But that's a big deal, issuing subpoenas.
Yeah. Except that it seems to be a politicized move.
Right. Qs are trying to push again a little bit here. AMD down 2% here.
Yeah, chip sector is a little bit under pressure here.
Yeah, you asked about NVIDIA. Now 170.31 here, down about 0.16%.
Yeah, right about the same level from where I was talking about it.
You need to see it turn a little bit. You need to see something here, but it could get worse.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm still waiting. It looks, 165 or so, I'll jump in.
All right, 165. I like that. 164.61, 165. I like that area. I can see what you're talking about. You have to go back all the way to what, July 23rd. $89.40 on CoreWeave.
It's trying, but it's struggling.
It is, yeah. There's a lot of shorts in CoreWeave right now.
Yeah. The institutions are definitely against them currently. Advanced decline sitting right about 1,000 here. Q's pretty flat at that up 10, 12 basis points. SPY is picking up a little bit here, up about 17, 18 basis points. Dow at 7. RUT giving up a little bit of the early gains, but still the leader in the clubhouse so far, up 20 basis points. tick slightly positive here. Again, Mag 7. You know, the leader is definitely Amazon, up 3.4%. Unable, though, to break that 235 spot. Came down from there. Meta up 1.79. Again, though, we're seeing a pullback across the ones that jumped up this morning. Meta hit as high as 761. Now
Bitcoin
pulled back to
749.
749.
110.3 on Bitcoin here.
It's struggling, like I said. There just doesn't seem to be an appetite one way or the other. It's just sort of standoffish right now, is what we're seeing. Not enough volume to get through the key resistance. Gets up to it, most of it just sort of liquidation led. And then once it gets to those key spots, you can see the green liquidity zone to the top. It can't break through. It is stuck.
Here reports that Gap and Old Navy stores will expand into cosmetics. That's what I've been saying. Like, these stores need to go do those kind of things, right, in order to make that happen.
Right. No, absolutely. Not seeing anything
here.
Wow. You want to talk about why I don't trust the Chinese names? XHG was up at $2 in the pre-market. It is now trading at 92 cents, down 22% since the cash opened. Man, these Chinese names are crazy. Steve, one I didn't have on my bingo card, Hewlett-Packard up about 3.3% today after some fairly strong earnings yesterday. So Hewlett-Packard, a nice move.
Yeah, believe it or not, I think that you're going to start to see computers do very well here soon.
Well, I think a lot of people that bought during COVID are running to the end of their use case on their computers. I know I am one of those people that bought a desktop and a laptop during COVID, and both of mine are sort of at the needs to be replaced stage.
I have just shorted here. I'm shorting Tesla.
Okay.
And a little bit more on Tesla here, a little more shorts here.
Yeah, 334.60 right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty short Tesla.
I was interested. Did you see Elon has talked more that Tesla's robot Optimus could account for 80% of the future value of Tesla?
I agree with that.
Is he pivoting away, or is this a smart move?
Well, I think everybody in the future will have a robot in their house. I don't think that's a.
Is that where the money is, or is it though the robotization of like industry? I know that question comes from left field, but it's more of a big picture question, because I think it would be
people are tired of washing dishes. I think people are tired of vacuuming their home, right? I think.
Yeah, I just wonder that if everybody gets one, that's a lot. But if industries get thousands to do things, that's where the mass sort of money comes in. That would be sort of what I was more asking about.
Right.
Take a positive still here, 175. We are about 2 minutes here from the end of our show. It's showing some green here. I can't argue with the results so far. It's holding, but to me, everything's holding by a thread. Is that, how do you feel about it, Steve?
I think you just said it. Everybody's holding by a thread.
I usually use you for your insight, not me for mine, but that's how I'm feeling here. It just seems that is sort of the case. It doesn't seem to me.
I think we have a down day in the markets at some point. Yeah.
Yeah. I think what I've seen is that, there are particular winners. You can trade winners and losers like you've done already today. But that's how you have to play this market. It's definitely not a longer swing trade term market right now on anything.
No, it is not. No, it is definitely not.
Okay, well, for BigBeat and myself, Crypto Hondo, everybody, have a good day trading. Steve's told you he thinks we move to the downside. I feel the same thing. I think we're just going to fade out. I think that we have more troubles in front of us. So position yourself correctly. Get some powder dry on the sidelines. Have some cash ready to get into these numbers when Steve tells you it's time to buy, because I know I'll be ready. From us, everybody, have a good day. BigBeat, have a great one.
See ya.